Hey, folks, welcome back. This is Jay from Jaytalk. And of course, we have our wonderful co host, the ever talented skiing Nick from the Nick Drop.
Where do you come up with these things? That's funny. Where do
Well,
you? I mean,
I
this is
just
like
on the
off
fly.
the cuff. It's an off the cuff thing.
Yes, it completely off the cuff thing.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Man, it was a good day.
That's
I got some
good.
stuff done. Got some stuff done.
That's good.
Took care of some responsibilities. Made the boss happy. Ran some errands. Got
Wait, you're not married. What boss are you? No, I'm just kidding.
This is true.
I'm just teasing, folks. Come on. Anyway, so you made the boss happy. You took care of some
Made
stuff.
the boss happy. Took care of business. Yeah, it was a good day.
Good for
Good day.
you.
How
Good
about you?
Meh. It was a boring day until this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I went and had dinner with my kids,
Nice.
my ex-wife, and of course, my daughter and granddaughter were there. So, and I don't get to see them, but once a year.
Nice. Well, it's nice that you got a chance to see him now.
Yeah. So, of course, Lorelai is my granddaughter's name, and so yeah. I walked up to her, stuck my hands out, she immediately come to me.
Grandpa. What did she call you? She call you Grandpa?
No, she didn't. She can't speak yet. So,
Oh,
yeah. But the name I want her to call me, nobody else wants her to call me. So they're all.
why? That's your prerogative.
I know, but they don't like it. So.
What is it? You got to tell us now.
G Daddy.
Gee, you sagging your pants too while you're at that, G Daddy?
No, I'm good.
That's it. I'm gonna start calling you G Daddy now.
There you go. Okay.
G Daddy.
Hey, this is G Daddy from Jaytalk. Anyway.
See, there you go. See, you need to do
it. Anyway, no, it's pretty funny. Yeah, but Jay Jr. is like, there's no way, Dad. We're not calling you that. It ain't happening.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's great too, of course.
I think I did say on the podcast what I wanted my grandkids to call me.
What'd you want?
You remember?
No.
Nugget.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that. Okay.
I heard a grandpa get called that, and I thought, that's it. That's the best.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that one. Okay. That's a pretty good one. So, G Daddy.
So I gotta work on Nikki and Andrew when they have their kids.
Yeah. But no, so, Andrew used to call me the real OG all the time. So why not go with the G Daddy? So it stands for grandfather or granddaddy.
It absolutely does. I think it's good.
So yeah, I know there's gonna be some people out there that are like, really?
Yep. Really.
Yep. Yeah. Really. Exactly. Okay.
Don't be jealous.
Okay.
Don't be hating.
So I think I've officially heard the worst dad joke today.
Really?
Yes. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. You know how humans have different blood types?
Yes.
Does that mean mosquitoes look at us as flavors?
Or maybe I should have done this one.
Yeah, that's probably a more accurate one.
Okay, that was bad.
That was bad. See, I told you. I was like, really? Did you just really? I couldn't. Well, yeah, I told Junior that one, and he was just like, no, Dad, really? And I'm like, it was so bad I had to share it.
Okay, so I do have a joke that I just heard on TikTok about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
So, guy comes home from work, and he walks in the door. His wife's standing there with all her suitcases packed. And he's like, where are you going? She said, I'm going to Vegas. He said, for what? She goes, well, I found out that you can get $400 for a BJ, for giving a BJ in Vegas. And the husband looked at her and went, really? And she said, yeah, I'm going to go make me some money. And he said, wait a minute. Runs upstairs, comes back down with all his bags packed. And she says, where do you think you're going? He goes, I'm going to Vegas. I want to see how you live on $800 a year.
Oh Lord. Wow. That was rough. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. There you go. There, that exactly right. Oh my god, that's messed up. Anyway, yes, folks, we've been watching a little too much TikTok, probably.
Yeah, we have.
You know, no, it's. I won't have a lot of time starting tomorrow, so you know.
You are starting tomorrow?
As far as I know, I one final email just to verify. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Get it going.
I know.
I mean, you said a little bit about today being boring, so it'd probably be good to get back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, today is just my own fault. I honestly was taking a break from treadmill, taking a break from just letting my muscles heal. So, you know, it's a little just kind of, and I could tinker with a lot of other stuff. I mean, I have plenty of stuff to read and I have stuff to study, but just one of those days where you're just not motivated.
Yeah, I got you.
So
we have those.
Yeah, we do.
But you know what's really awesome, and I wanted to say this in the last podcast we talked about, but what's really awesome is how long did it take for you to find a job? 2 weeks.
3 weeks tops, yeah.
3 weeks tops, and you're working.
Yeah.
At 50 years old.
At 50 years old, yes.
That's and a good job at that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that might scare people in this world is, I'm always worried about that, man, because I'm pushing on the back door 60. I don't want to be going to look for a new job at my age.
No, I don't disagree with you.
But you being able to do this now in such a short period of time and getting back on, getting things going, getting life going, getting motivated, getting positive things going in 3 weeks at our age is motivating.
Oh, well, thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
You got to be proud of the fact that what you did was very scary at 50 years old. But in this day and age, nobody gives a damn. If something like this would have happened in the 60s, maybe 70s, maybe even in the 80s.
Right.
Oh, no, we're not going to hire somebody that's 50 years old. Hell, you're damn. Nowadays, people work till they're 90.
I know.
We had one guy that just retired. I saw him day before yesterday walking out the door. He was, I can't remember if he's 82, 83, or 87, 88.
You're talking about Roger?
No, Bob Albright.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He was married for so many years, and they had a kid. And once the kid turned 21, they decided that she had enough. She wanted to go on her own, so they split up. And literally 2 weeks after that, his old high school girlfriend hit him up on Facebook.
Nice.
70 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He met her 2 days later, spent 3 days with her, came back, and put in his retirement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now he's going, and he's worth millions.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
He really did well financially. So
good for him.
He's just gonna he's gonna enjoy life with this new love of his.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a guy smile so much.
Good for him.
I mean, he was walking out. I said, "Did you just do your exit interview, you shitbird?" Because I was giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
And he had a smile on his face the whole time. The whole time. I said, "Enjoy your life with your newfound love." And he goes, "I'm absolutely going to do that." And smiled as he's walked away. 80-something years old.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see that.
Yeah. Good for him.
I hope I'm smiling at 80-something years old.
I know. That's fair. So maybe we take a couple more vacations,
Here we go. Yeah. I could do some vacation time.
So now that's part of the reason. That's our episode for today. We're actually going to be talking. So it's spring break for like my kids in school, and so it's spring break, and there are a lot of people out for spring break. And of course, this is the big, people like to get away and vacation during spring break.
Yep.
So we figured we'd do a little bit of a spring break / vacation. We're not going to just limit it to spring break, but we figured we'd do a couple of stories from our past of different vacations we've done.
Fun, positive, good times.
Yes.
Good times.
Yes. So I'm going to go first, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you a spring break that I had to work. And, people are going to be like, okay, how is that fun, good times?
I was at a vacation.
I know. So here's the funny part. I was probably 21. Okay. I was working.
10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, that's it. Sure. Anyway, so you're hilarious. But no, I was working at Six Flags Astroworld.
Right.
Okay. Well, for spring break this year, the year that I was working there, they had this KRBE spring break in the park event. And what they did is they drained the lagoon, completely drained it, blacktopped it, and then they brought in spring break type events. So they had a snow ice type maker, and so you had one event where you could go ski or tube down the ice. They had mountain rock wall climbing. They had multiple different events. The sumo wrestling, where the big suit, big with the big suits. Yeah. So, so that year, when you weren't working your shift at the normal part of the park, if they needed help, you could volunteer to work at the KRBE park. And the beauty. Go ahead.
Let me just hesitate there for a minute to let people know KRBE is a big radio station here in Houston.
Yeah, probably the number one radio station in Houston. Yeah. So, huge deal. Huge deal. So I actually worked a couple of the little events, helping people put on skis, helping people do the little things. We just had a lot of fun. But the really fun part is the fact that they did an after-hours party for employees, and they actually opened all the events up for employees.
Wow.
And so
employees and their families?
No, it was just employees. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that would have taken too long to go home, get your family, bring them back up there. I mean, the park closed at 10. So, the after-hours party is essentially when the park is cleaned out, not necessarily when it's closed, because it still takes 30, 45 minutes to get everybody out of the park.
Right.
Because you have to sweep. And so, but yeah, dude, that was one of the most enjoyable, just craziest. I remember doing rock wall climbing, and I was afraid of heights, but we used to have competitions on who could go up those rock walls the fastest.
Wow.
And we were doing them in a minute flat. We were going to the top of the rock walls.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was insanely crazy. That was, as a young person, that was my favorite all-time spring break. I made so many friends on that event. I had so much fun. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish I'd have known about that. I'd have gone and checked it out.
Dude.
I was probably, was it in the summertime?
Spring break.
Spring break, duh. Yeah, I was probably in Germany. You remember what year it was?
21. That was probably in 90. It was either 91 or 92.
Well, I was in Orlando.
Okay. I'm sure they had some fun events when you were in Orlando, but you were water skiing.
Yeah, I was working for SeaWorld, so we had How come I can't ever remember the name of that park? You just said it. We were talking about it right before we got on here.
Universal Studios.
Thank you. The Universal Studios had just opened up shortly after I started working at SeaWorld. And of course, it's right down the street from Disney.
Yeah.
So yeah, spring break was we always worked spring break, but it was more fun because it was so many people down there.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, it was really fun to do the ski shows and stuff like that. And of course, we would meet people, young ladies, and they would get us into Disney. I've had a couple times where they said, take tomorrow off and let's go hang out at Disney, and we did,
Yeah.
and they had a suite in the hotel right there,
Right.
like the temporary hotel and that kind of stuff. And oh yeah,
Nice.
so I kind of did the same thing. I was working, but still doing spring break with the people that came in, the young ladies of the other states.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Like, come on, dude. How could they turn down the water skier? I mean, you were tan and buff, and
Just saying.
Yeah.
That's the way it used to be.
Their parents were at home too, so they weren't at the. No, I'm just kidding.
No dad bods there. Smooth stomachs, flat.
Yeah,
You
whatever.
can see your feet when you look down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
Good old days.
I can see my feet if I lean over a little bit. Anyways.
If I'm laying down and sit up.
There you go. Oh my God, that's funny.
Hold a mirror out. Bellies aren't that bad, but yeah.
I know. So, go ahead.
So, speak about that. It reminded me when you said it was one of the best times I ever had, and it was a purpose for spring break, but the snow in Colorado is pretty much gone by that time.
Okay.
And I wanted to go snow skiing, so we rented. I don't even know if you call it a cabin. It was huge. It slept 16 people.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, like a lodge cabin type thing.
Yeah, lodge.
Yeah.
The entire family went.
Yeah.
And this lodge was literally you walk on the back patio, put your skis on, and ski right down to the lift.
Oh.
In Durango, Colorado.
Nice.
And we were there for 10 days. And I don't even remember a time when there was an argument or a disagreement or a discussion. The entire family was in the best mood the entire time. And we were still young kids.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But you remember that.
I remember every bit of it.
Good for you.
Eat every day, and then at night they cooked on the grill outside and we ate like kings. And then when it was 10 o'clock, kids had to go upstairs because it was time for the adults to have their adult time.
Yeah.
So the beverages came out and they'd sit down and play cards or, whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that was the best 10 days. And we drove there.
Wow.
Yeah. We drove from here to Durango, 18-hour drive.
Okay. And
snowing, sleeting, and all that going there. I think it was late February, early March.
Okay.
So it wasn't actually spring break, but it was close enough to do that. So yeah, man, I'll never forget that time. That was awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm yawning, folks.
Jay's been out. He's not telling the truth. He's been out partying and hitting the bars since he ain't been working.
Whatever. Trying to
find all these ladies to buy him drinks.
Whatever.
He says he doesn't drink, but now he's a closet drinker. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
Started doing lots of drugs. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever. You're hilarious. The only drugs I'm doing is Advil or Motrin or whatever. So,
right.
Anyway, you're pretty funny. Yeah. No.
Get back in the real world now.
Yeah, so that's actually funny though, but that's kind of a cool situation because to go on vacation and not have any fighting, any sibling rivalries, anything like that. Everybody just was having the great time. That's insane.
2-day drive there, 2-day drive back in 10 days of all of us, and there were 16 of us in that in that cabin.
Nice.
that was a good memory. I
Good.
mean, we've done some New Braunfels spring break. Went to New Braunfels. For those of you who don't know, New Braunfels, there's lots of rivers through there. So you get on an inner tube and you float down the river.
Yeah, Guadalupe is the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the place that my mother had rented, it was a house, a 5-bedroom house.
Right.
So all the kids, we were all grown at that point. We actually had kids, young ones.
Yeah.
I think Andy was probably 3.
Yeah.
He my youngest one. So the really cool part about this house is you walk out the back door, walk to the end of the yard, jump in the river, float down the river, and then what we would do is we would like Sean and I would get up in the morning and we would take the vehicle that held the most people
Yes.
down to a spot down the river
Right.
and park it, and I would follow him, and then we'd come back, and then we'd all jump in the river and float down, and then this place ended up, and it's like a food place, serves alcohol and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it's just a restaurant right there on the river outside.
Right.
So what we would do is, we'd rock, paper, scissors on who the unlucky one that was going to do the driving back and forth because we had to make 3 trips. But what we did was the first person that lost had to drive on the rock, paper, scissors for the adults. The second person that lost had to take care of the kids.
Oh, okay.
So the first carload were 2 adults and the rest kids. Of course, this is back in the day when you could kind of sneak and not have to put them in a car seat. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just load them all up in the back of the truck, which we did one time, but we weren't very comfortable with that. It wasn't that far, maybe a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Drive them back, drop that adult off with the kids, so they had to,
Yeah.
they had to handle the kids while the adults are sitting at the bar drinking and nibbling on some snacks or whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was awesome. That was a really good time.
No, that is cool, dude. That really is. So I it's been a long time since I've been over there.
Yeah.
So, and they've actually got some. If you're ever interested, I think they've got some different places where you can park and float down, and they'll shuttle you back.
They do have several of those because we did one.
Okay.
Where you go and you sign up and you pay your money and all that stuff, and they have their inner tubes loaded on this big bus. They put you in this big bus and they drive 2 or 3 miles up the river, and they put you out wherever you want to go. I mean, there's longer runs.
Yeah, it's
There's
like 4 to 8
8-hour
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, then there's like 8-hour runs. So you pay for all that money at this restaurant right there on the river, and then they bus you up there, and then you float down. And when you get to the restaurant, you just hop out, turn the inner tubes in, go have a drink or go eat something, and get in the car and go home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people will bring their own what they call ice chest inner tube,
Yes.
and that way they can float their ice chest down with them.
Yeah.
So,
And our ice chests had beer, wine, and liquor and sodas
yep.
and juice boxes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Got to have the kids, had to have the juice boxes.
Exactly. You are hilarious.
But they have one place in New Braunfels that you can park, and it's called the Horseshoe.
Yes.
And it's about a 45-minute run. You can literally get in the river and float for 45 minutes, get out of the river, walk about 500 yards, get back in the river, and float the Horseshoe again. And you put you right back where you started.
You're right. Yeah, and you can literally get back in your vehicle. You don't have to worry about any shuttles. You don't have to. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You just have to buy your own inner tubes because they don't have inner tubes at that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they didn't back in the day. This is 30 years ago.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's really a cool story too. I always liked New Braunfels. Yeah. So I'll tell you another spring break story. So this was spring break 2013.
Okay.
Okay. So when we were in Indiana plans for snow days.
All right.
Okay. So they give the schools 2 weeks for spring break. Because if they have to do snow days, then essentially you just burn up part of that second week. So
right, because they have to go so many days a year. So.
Exactly. So they would tell you, at the beginning of spring break, it's like, okay, we've had this many snow days. the kids are required to be back on this day, whether it's Wednesday or whatever, but the whole point is they have to be back at a certain time. Well, they got lucky that year and they didn't have any snow days.
Nice.
I think they had one, but they didn't have to burn. One is no big deal. So, so they didn't have to burn. So they had 2 weeks off for spring break.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was the last time I got an income tax return. I think, if I remember correctly. Wait,
Well,
maybe it was 2014 I got one, but anyway, I just remember because I had gotten the bonus from Enterprise, and I got an income tax return, and I think I paid $7,000 for a vacation.
Wow.
We had been on one vacation before, but it wasn't like a long vacation, so we had never been to Disney. So I literally bought, a resort. We went and stayed at one of the Disney resorts. So here's kind of how I'll kind of lay it out to you really quickly, and then we'll go back and describe more of it. But essentially, we left on Saturday. We drove like 10 hours on Saturday.
Right.
Okay. From Indiana all the way to south of Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
To this little college town. It was essentially, I don't even remember if I looked it up on a map, I could find it, but it was a really nice little town. So, got a hotel, unloaded the truck, and
right.
I had a lid on the truck.
Right.
So I could lock it. So basic necessity stuff we left in there and just locked the lid. But, anything that we needed for like a change of clothes or, toothbrush or whatever. Yeah. So, but anyway, we went, grabbed some food, went back to the hotel. It was actually very comfortable because we stopped at a decent time. I say it was 10 hours, but I mean, we left at like 7 a.m. that morning. So you got to figure, it was probably after we stopped for lunch and all the bathroom breaks, we probably got in like 6:30. It wasn't horrible bad, I mean, so we were on the road 11 and a half, but 10 hours of driving.
Yeah.
It wasn't horribly bad. Got in, ate dinner, got in bed, slept, just kind of, the kids were wound up. There was no way they were going to be
sitting in a car for 10 hours.
Well, yeah, exactly. But, we're going to be at Disney the next day. So, so we, it was going to be, I thought it was going to be like, 4.5, maybe 5 hours the next day. It didn't even take us that long. We got up the next morning, got in the truck. It was beautiful outside. So we finished the drive. We get there at like 12:30. I mean, we got there really early, and you're not supposed to check in until 3.
Right.
So I'm like, oh shit. So I talked, and he said, well, if you can give us an hour, we'll have it ready. And I'm like, okay. So, about an hour later, I could check in, and it was no big deal. We just kind of sat around and tinkered around stuff, drove around.
Let's say there's way too many things to do in Orlando that you could,
Well, once we unloaded the truck, the first thing we did is because I got a cabin at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah. So, and it's one of the resorts. So it has all the buses and all the stuff to get to all the parks, so that was kind of cool. But the beauty of it is it had a full kitchen, living room, enough room for 6 people. So we literally drove down to the nearest Walmart and we picked up stuff for breakfast, drinks, and just normal, everyday stuff. And if we wanted to grill hot dogs one day, so we bought charcoal and lighter and, hot dogs and buns and stuff like that. And so, yeah, dude. So we did that, went to eat, came back to the room, got settled in. And so we went to Magic Kingdom on Monday. We went to, what was it? Magic Kingdom, Epcot. No, Magic Kingdom, Epcot. Yeah.
And then
And then
Animal Kingdom, any other one?
Hollywood Studios, and then Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, and dude, yeah, we were like going, and I mean, it was just like nonstop. I mean, just every morning getting up, trying to get, every night, coming in exhausted. I mean, we were just, it was insanely crazy. So, we did all 4 parks in 4 days. I mean, it was just like, oh, wow. Yeah, we were running ragged. None of us were ready for that. We literally, and I'll go into more detail in a minute, but Friday morning we got up because I'd only paid for 5 nights. So we did 4 days in the park and 5 nights. We got up Friday morning and we took our sweet time because we were all wore out. Let's just be honest.
Right. Yep.
Left there at 11 o'clock and we drove to Daytona because I had booked a condo for the weekend in Daytona.
Oh, man.
Yeah, on the beach, on the boardwalk, and it was a really nice condo, full kitchen, full everything, just like the cabin. So, we could literally, it was literally on the beach kind of, but they had a big pool, a kiddie pool, and a lazy river, all part of this resort, So, yeah, dude, we had so we stayed there till Monday morning. That was our, that was our vacation. That was our crazy. I mean, you think about it, the amount of things that you do back and forth. We went to all these restaurants. You got all these things you want to see at Disney. Oh my goodness, we were wore out. I'll be honest with you. When we got home on Tuesday, yeah, it was everything just to sit down and be like,
all of you.
yeah. I mean, because Daytona was supposed to be relaxing, but you're still kind of, yeah, the lazy river's nice, but I still got
You're
kids.
still amped up. You're in the sun all day.
Yes.
If you're, in the lazy river, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll take a lot out of you, especially after 5 days of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Walking Disney and yeah.
Yeah. And Daytona was nice. We checked in on Friday and then we left on Monday. That was probably the craziest vacation that, me and the kids ever did. It was just, back when I was still married, because it was just, having the Disney and then immediately going to Daytona and just this kind of whirlwind tour of going everywhere, and I drove everywhere. I mean, so we didn't fly anywhere. So when we left Daytona, we had to drive back up to Indiana.
Yeah.
So the funniest thing, oh my God, the funniest thing about that trip, and you'll laugh. So we leave Daytona, and of course, shorts, t-shirt, everything's packed in the okay. We drive to, I forgot what part of Tennessee, but we drive probably a good 10, 11 hours again. Okay.
Right.
And we stop at a hotel and get out of the car, and it's 31 degrees outside. And I'm in
don't get out. Stay in the truck.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, trying to get luggage out so people can get warm clothes on. Yeah. Oh my God. I was just like, oh, this is murder. Yeah, we go from literally 75 degrees, beautiful weather, to 31 degrees. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is cold. Holy crap. Yeah.
Park right next to the room. All right, let me go open the door, and you guys run from the truck into the.
I think we
heat up.
Yeah, I think we stayed at a Hampton, so it was just one of those. You enter the front door and that's it. It's one door.
Okay, so it wasn't like where you pull up to the door.
No. Yeah. So it was still, but it was pretty funny. Oh my gosh, that was like the craziest vacation. I will say though, we loved, and still to this day, my favorite is still Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom.
Right.
Animal Kingdom's probably my number one. We had that was a wonderful time. The kids had so much fun. Now I will say Daytona was great, but Daytona, because we went during spring break, about almost every day at 2:00 on the dot, it rained. So of course
That's
we're
Florida.
yeah, I know. I mean, so we're sitting there like, okay, everybody run back in the room, run back in the room. Okay, 30 minutes later, oh, it's done. We can go back out and play in the water. Yeah, no, yeah,
Just stay in it. It's raining.
yeah, yeah. I know. It's crazy, but yeah, no, man, that was one crazy vacation. We did pick up a lot of souvenirs though. I tried. You're gonna laugh at me. That's where I tried to skimboard.
Ah,
the,
all the years of skiing and the agility that I had in my 20s, I never could. I could do it, but it didn't. Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, I bit it enough to where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm good. I think I'm good. I think we're gonna. No.
Scratch it off the bucket list. We're done with that.
Yeah, I've tried. Exactly. I still have my skimboard though. It's hanging up
Oh
in my
wow.
living room. So, if anything, it's a reminder. Yeah, I've tried it, and my butt hurt a lot. Don't try it again. And especially at my age, I probably wouldn't hurt just my butt.
Right.
It's
That
just
pain would go all the way up into your ears.
exactly, right? Exactly. Oh my god. So,
And then 3 weeks of recovery, walking like you're 90.
maybe 3 weeks, yeah, maybe longer depending on how bad. I know.
So true. So
So,
true.
but yeah, that was pretty funny. I wanted to try surfing so bad, but I chickened out cuz oh my god. It's spring break and I went out in that water. Oh, it was murder. Now,
What?
yeah, dude. Well, on the Daytona side, on the Atlantic side.
Right.
Okay, not on the Gulf side, but on the Atlantic side, the water is so much colder.
Really?
Yeah. Well, especially that time of year.
Oh yeah. Well,
You
that
know.
makes
Yeah, so dude, that water cuz I mean, the currents are all coming in from the north and just oh my gosh.
I would have thought there would have been a lot of people out there if there was some surf.
There there was a couple of people I think that tried to surf. The funniest thing is there was actually a truck out there where they were giving lessons for surfing,
Oh, cool.
but nobody was signing up.
That's too cold.
It was too cold. I ain't gonna lie, dude. We
Wow.
we went out and it's like, yeah, this water's too cold. Let's go back up in the heated pool.
I was gonna say, was the pool heated
The
and the
pool
lazy
and the
river all
lazy
up?
river all was heated.
Oh well, there you go.
So it was funny as hell. It was just like, yeah. But the coolest part I think is the sharks we saw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Scary, but nice.
I actually had a camera and I'm sitting there in the balcony and I'm seeing shark fins. And so I had one of those telescopic lenses and I actually zoomed in and could take pictures of their fins coming in and out of the water. And so it was really cool. So, and it didn't look like dolphins, people. It actually looked like shark fins.
I was fixing to say
Yeah, I know.
dolphins because they're playful.
Yes, they are playful, but this looked very much like shark fins. So I had really good, and I got some really good sunrise photos. I had to adjust the camera lens a little bit just to get them because otherwise it blinds out the camera. But yeah,
Right.
dude, I got some really good photos. So that was my spring break. But now you've been to Disney, but at a different time.
Yeah, we working in a theme park my whole life, all those years of water skiing. The one thing that is, a pet peeve of mine is crowds. I lived my life waiting in line for lunch every day, waiting in line to get in the parking lot, waiting in line to get out of the parking lot, those kinds of things, walking, a mile to get to your car after work kind of stuff,
Right. Yeah.
through the crowds and crowds and crowds of people. So I actually called around and I kind of knew because working in a theme park for so many years, I kind of knew when was the slowest time of the year to go to Disney.
Yeah.
I actually called Disney and thought what they said, and they gave me the political answer. Well, there's never a bad time to go, and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, I want to know when your lowest
Attendance.
attendance numbers are, and that's when I want to go. So, just to give you an example, when I was working at SeaWorld in Florida one year, I worked Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Christmas Day in Orlando, Florida, 22 degrees.
And it was still busy
And
as hell.
no,
Oh.
no, it wasn't. However, here's the deal. Our stadium would hold 5,500 people.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I don't think there was a day go by that we would do 4 and 5, 6, 8, almost 10 shows a day, and the stadium would be jam packed with people the whole time during the summer.
Right. Right.
Christmas Day, I can't even remember what year this was, but it was early 90s. We all had to draw for the acts in the show. And when you get to be a water skier in a ski show, you get good enough to where you're not going to get wet. And what I mean by that, you're going to get your ankles wet or your knees wet, and maybe your shorts might get a little wet at the bottom, but you're usually good enough to be able to do certain acts or most of the acts without getting wet.
Right.
Now, the first act of the day in this particular show was the barefoot act. You're going to get wet from head to toe.
Okay.
I mean, soaked.
Right.
Now it's 22 degrees outside. I drew the opening barefoot act.
Oh, ouch.
The only good side about that was I did the barefoot run at the beginning of the show. Now the shows are 45 minutes long, and so as soon as I did that act, I'd run in and got in the shower, and the only thing I had to do after that was pyramid, which was the last thing of the show.
Right.
Right. So I went in and got warm, put clothes on, went and helped everybody else do their acts, held towels for the girls that had to be in bikinis when it was cold so that as soon as they landed, they were covered up, that kind of thing.
Right.
We had to do the show. There were 6 people in the audience.
Are you serious?
No kidding.
Oh my gosh.
There were 6 people, and we had 47 tickets, free passes to get into SeaWorld that we wanted to give them, and the management wouldn't let us do it.
Oh, because
you're doing a ski show. We did one ski show for that entire day because it was so cold, but we did it.
You tried to give those 6 people, here's tickets if you don't
Here's
go.
47 free passes to get into SeaWorld, and they're open-ended.
Yeah.
You could come 5 years from now.
Right. But as long as you don't make us do this show, if you'll walk away right now, here's 47 tickets.
You know those people would have done it.
Yes.
They just split them up amongst themselves and walked away. Management wouldn't let us do it.
Oh my gosh.
So we ended up having to do a ski show.
Oh.
So that being said, I wanted to go when they were only saying, I wanted to be the 6 people in the crowd, but I didn't want it to be cold either.
Yes. So fair enough.
That was Christmas Day. I didn't want to go during Christmas when it was cold. I wanted to go when it was. So I talked, thinking about it, talking to a bunch of friends on Facebook and stuff like that. The week after Labor Day is probably the slowest time of the year for Orlando, Florida. Now, this is 20 years ago.
Right.
So I don't know what the stats are now.
I would still think September is still the slowest.
Week after Labor Day, because everybody's going back to school.
Yep.
Right? Right after Labor Day, everybody's back in school. Now, everybody's back in school in August, but after Labor Day is when everybody's digging in and.
Well, but I mean, sports are happening. So kids who are involved in sports and extracurriculars, they all have to be there.
Football, band, all that stuff's been going on for a month or so already.
Right. Yeah. A couple of weeks, a month. Yes, exactly.
So we did. We jumped in the car and we drove down there after the Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
And got there on that Sunday. Labor Day's Monday. And then everybody goes home on Labor Day or whatever. And I had friends, kids were young. Andrew wasn't even born yet. We just took the 3 older boys, Josh, Jake, and Nick.
Right.
And Christy and I. So we'll get down there and we got the hotel room and we went and called my buddy that worked at Disney, and he met us at the gate and walked us in. So we got free passes to go in, and they gave us a band so that we could leave one park and go into another for the day.
Right.
So we didn't have to pay the $100 and something for a ticket or anything like that. And I got a really expensive hotel because I know Orlando like the back of my hand, right?
Right, because you live there.
Yeah. So we did that. we were there we did all three Disney parks. We did, God, what's the name of the damn park again?
Magic
I
Kingdom?
can't, no, the other one. You got
Universal
Disney, you got
Studios.
Universal Studios. We went there for a day. And then, of course, I had friends that gave me passes to go to SeaWorld for the day. So
Right.
we did all the 4 or 5 parks back then. And yeah, we were exhausted.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
you're
even
running.
even Nikki, who was Mr. Energizer Bunny, by 9 o'clock, that kid was snoring. I
Yeah.
mean, out cold.
And you were like, thank God I can go to sleep too. Or I have a drink or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I wanted to get frisky with the wifey poo, and she's like, I don't think so, young man. You go lay over there on the floor.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Sleep. So much for that idea. Well,
Uh,
but I got it. I mean, it was awesome.
yeah.
I mean, even though I'd been there and lived there for however many years, and then, came back in the real world, finished my college, got a degree, started working, got married, had kids, and then went back. It was fun to see some of the people that I haven't seen and only seen on Facebook. So that was enjoyable. One of my buddies let us take his boat out. He's got a ski boat. We did a little tubing, and the kids got to ski a little bit, and
That's a lot of fun.
yeah, it was that was good. Orlando's a great place to go because you don't just have Universal Studios. I remembered it this time. SeaWorld and Disney. There's so many things to do. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
They've got that going on. And there's probably 100 other things you can do now in Orlando. There's water parks like crazy down there now, and it's grown up. I went down 3 or 4 months ago, and I didn't even recognize where I was. I kept having to ask my buddy Joey because he was driving. I'm like, where the hell are we?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're over here off of Orange Blossom Trail. I'm like, no, we're not. It was 6 lanes wide, and
No, yeah,
all
exactly.
brand new, and yeah.
So
So Orlando's grown up so much, but it's so fun.
the next time I go, I want to take the kids and do Universal. We haven't done Universal yet. I want to do the Harry Potter, Diagon Alley,
Yeah.
and some of that other stuff. That's what I really want to do. And then, of course, we're going to want to go back to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom's our favorite.
Can't beat it. I
Yeah.
loved it back when Animal Kingdom had A Bug's Life was the big deal, and they had the big tree.
The tree's still there.
It's still there of the Bug's Life. That
Yeah.
had just opened up prior to us going.
Right. So the last time we went, they had just opened the Pandora section.
Oh, wow. That's right. I heard about that.
Yeah. So, and for those of you who don't know what Pandora is, it's the planet from the Avatar movie, the Blue People.
The Blue People.
The Blue People. Yeah. So that was insane. That's a great area. Matter of fact, a friend of mine's down there right now at Animal Kingdom. So
Nice.
yeah. So, but
Yeah,
yeah.
see, Universal Studios was Harry Potter wasn't a thing
Nope.
when I went.
No.
It was all Jurassic Park.
Yes. And I
So
want to see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of really cool things, but yeah, I want to, there's quite a few different sections of that I'd like to see. So, but I want to do that. I want to play golf at one of the golf courses at Disney.
Nice. They got lots of nice courses there.
They do. And then I want to go over to Destin.
Now that's so funny. I was just thinking of that. That was the next best vacation I'd ever been on.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was in the summertime.
Okay.
We went to Destin and rented. My mother rented a house, and it was a whole family staying in the house. And there were a few disagreements and discussions on what we were going to do, but most of the part was just hanging out in the clear water and the white sandy beaches. Oh, it was 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
Destin, Florida is a great place to go for 4th of July. And this is why. On the beach, if you can stay right there on the beach, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people all drive their vehicles down onto the sand, and they're allowed to do this, and they set off their own fireworks.
Okay.
Thousands of people.
Yeah.
So fireworks are going off for 3 and 4 hours because people are buying thousands of dollars worth, loading their truck up, and they're firing them right there on the beach.
Right. It's probably the only place they're allowed to.
Yeah. But here is the most fantastic. This is the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Okay. So you got 4th of July fireworks, thousands of people drinking and partying up all night long. Fireworks are going off all night long. The next morning, everybody is up and the entire town is out there cleaning up all the firework debris.
Really?
Yes, they had taco carts for free tacos for breakfast. They had, drink carts that were out there, trucks pulling up, feeding people for free that were cleaning up the debris from the night before's party.
Good for you. Good for them.
That was badass.
They respect their beach.
Yes, absolutely. And even the people that got smashingly drunk, all those people got up, was struggling to pick up the debris, but still doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Everybody was as nice and no fights and,
Right.
Yeah, Destin, Florida is a good place to go if you want to do something like that.
Yeah. And, I probably will do that separate from whenever I do Universal Studios. But that's another place I want to check out is Destin, Florida.
Get you a Speedo, Jay. Get you some sun.
Whatever. I don't know about a Speedo here. Yeah. Anybody who knows me, that's not a pretty visual, let's just say.
There's going to be a bunch of women out there that might go, hey, wait a minute.
Dad bod? Whatever.
Look at that.
Whatever. I'm good, man. I'm good. So
I think I could pour some honey on that biscuit.
Anyway.
Hey, that's something we didn't say in the episode we were talking about. What was
euphemisms?
Euphemisms.
Yeah.
Some honey on that biscuit.
Oh my gosh! Whatever. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're so modest.
I know.
So modest.
So,
and
yeah.
Destin's awesome. Disney's awesome. Snow skiing is awesome.
Yeah, if I could get over my heights, that would be a lot of fun.
What? Going up to the top of a mountain and skiing down it?
Yeah. There's just no way.
Just stay off the black stuff. Stay off the black diamond stuff.
Dude, I can't even look down without having an anxiety attack.
No.
I had a lot of trouble. I remember, just to give you a little tidbit about my heights problem, when we drove from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, Mr. Brent had to drive part of the way because we had to actually drive through the mountains. And you had to go through tunnels and down and through a tunnel and down and through a tunnel and make a curve. And right off the edge of the curve is a cliff off the side of the mountain. Oh, dude, there was no way. I actually slept most of the time. I woke up and we're sitting there doing this 45-degree angle down in a tunnel. And I'm looking down, and at the end of the tunnel is literally a turn. And I can't see where the turn goes, but I could tell that if we don't make the turn, we're going off the cliff.
Right.
And I'm like, my anxiety's kicking in. So I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm going back to sleep. I literally close my eyes and I'm like praying at that point. Because, I know Brent's not going to drive us off the cliff, but I'm freaking out at this point. I ain't going to lie. So
did this manifest itself over time? Or
yes.
You've always... See, I think there's something about that. Because
but it's incidents, little things that happen that triggered that.
That's an interesting. I want to get into that.
Different episode.
Yeah, but just quickly, one of my friends absolutely has a fear of high bridges.
Yeah.
And once he told me about it, I'm like, wow, I never really thought about it. And the next time I went over a high bridge, I was freaking out.
Why?
You got me. All of a sudden now, when I had my shoulder surgery, I would drive over this one bridge and I kept telling my buddy, it's 300 feet off the ground.
Right.
He's like, there's no way. I said, okay. So I got my cell phone and I started videoing going over that bridge and I sent it to him. And he's like, holy shit, that's more than 300 feet.
Right.
And this is right here in Houston.
I know.
And so now I still go over the bridge, but my heart drops. My buddy will drive 4 hours out of his way to avoid a high bridge.
Okay, so now there is one bridge. Okay, there's actually two bridges that I have trouble with. Okay.
Okay.
And one of them they're tearing down and replacing. Or actually, both of them they're tearing down and replacing. Sorry. One of them is on I-10 in Lake Charles.
Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That bridge is like, I mean, it was old as hell, small as hell, cramped as hell.
And it was only 2 lanes.
And it was only 2 lanes. Yeah, and I was always in the left lane because there was no way. I couldn't be in the right lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, that bridge bothered me.
260 feet, 280 feet, something like that.
Yeah, and it went up too fast and came down too fast. And it just, if you had a trucker in front of you or behind you, it was just a nerve-wracking. Yeah, I hated that bridge.
I would drive around it now because it's freaking me out.
Yeah, so the bridge, so they put in the bypass with the new bridge that goes over, and the new bridge is a lot nicer. So I do the bypass now.
But see, we have a bridge here that's 230 feet off the water, but it's 12 lanes wide. So 6 going north, 6 going south, or whatever.
You're talking about the 610 one.
No, this is the Fred Hartman Bridge, right there, 146.
I didn't think it was 5 or 6 on each side. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It is 5, it's 5 or 6 on each side.
See, that one doesn't bother me.
Because it's so wide, you don't get that feeling of being that high off the ground. And it's a suspension bridge, too.
Yeah. The other one I hate is the Beltway 8 going over the ship channel.
Yep.
Yeah, the 2 lanes on each side. Yeah, I have to be in the left lane.
I don't know how we got. I'm sorry, I got us on a rant about bridges. So
So you can blame Nick on that one. So we were supposed to be talking about vacations.
Every vacation I've been on, I've never had height anxiety.
Thanks, man.
Let's go back to that. I can get on the top of a mountain. I can drive through the mountains.
Okay.
It's just the fact of the straight drop off. Now, I ride my motorcycle in Bandera.
Yeah.
And there's a highway, and I can't remember there's a triangular 3 highways that you run. They call the 3 Sisters.
Yeah.
It's one of the top 5 best rides for a motorcycle ride in North America.
Okay.
It's 335. The highway's 335, 336, and 337. 337 is one of these very almost straight up and down 20-mile-an-hour turns, 1,000-foot drop off right next to the road, and it's barely 2 lanes wide.
Okay.
So 1 lane going one way, 1 lane going the other.
Right.
Doesn't bother me. I could be on the edge going around a corner at 20 miles an hour, looking 1,000 feet down, literally 10 feet from me. It doesn't bother me.
Good for you.
But get me on a bridge. Yeah, I start panicking.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because the ground's permanent. The bridge is not.
That is true. See, maybe that's what it is. When I'm going through the mountains, it's no big deal because I'm on the ground. It's just a lot lower, 10 feet away.
Yeah. Well, but you also have control. So you're comfortable with the fact that you're driving. Okay, if something happens, I'm just going to lay this down. If the bike goes over the rail, the bike goes over the rail. I'm just going to hang onto the rail and let the bike go.
Going to get me some road rash on the old bootay.
Yeah, exactly. But at least you're alive.
Yeah. If the bridge collapses, there ain't no.
Yeah.
And I've watched too many Transformer movies and stuff like that where bridges break really easy.
Yeah. I mean, we had the one in the Twin Cities. Remember the Twin Cities?
Right.
Yeah. And people, I mean, how many cars went over the edge because they just kept driving. They didn't realize. They didn't know. And they just kept, car after car after car after car.
That's just the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, I know. And there are plenty of people that died from that. So, I mean, that was just rough. So, yeah, bridges. Anyway. So
Disney.
Back to Disney. No. It's funny.
Disney World and Disneyland. Disney World is in California.
No, Disney World is in Orlando. Disneyland is in California. I
Okay, I
haven't
got to
been to
buy.
Disneyland yet.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but I heard there's a lot of really. If you go to Disneyland, it's really cool because you can always. There's a chance you can run into stars or whatever.
Right.
That's the other thing. So they're anything that they do, their TV shows, if they do anything that's at Disneyland, so that's where they do a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's it's really cool. But yeah, vacations. Yeah, sorry. Hey, scared of heights is part of vacations too. I actually did drive over the spine of a mountain one time to go on a vacation. And I was a nervous wreck. So,
Did you have the kids with you?
yes.
Oh, so you had to maintain some kind of, sanity.
Yeah, sure. We'll call it that. Yeah.
You got to
Sure.
protect those kids, man. You got to hunker down.
Oh
Be the
no,
man.
I was fine if they'd just be quiet.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm already having enough anxiety. I don't need kids like screaming and yelling and whatever while I'm sitting there like
Dad, I
freaking
gotta
out.
pee.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, I'm in the left lane in a 4-lane highway. There's a median, and yeah, it's a drop off the spine.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was actually Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Oh, beautiful city.
Yeah. So we would
Beautiful. I lived there for 2 summers.
really.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we stayed in Pigeon Forge and we visited Gatlinburg. So yeah, so that was, and so I had to, because we came out of Indiana and we drove down to, what is it? We drove to not Nashville. We were in Kentucky and we went to Knoxville. There was this highway, I think it was 75 that we drove south on. And yeah, when you come out of Kentucky, you literally have to drive over the spine of the mountain there before you get to Knoxville, Tennessee.
But I loved Gatlinburg. I had a little chalet, little A-frame chalet that I lived in, and there was a ski show there, Tommy Bartlett Water Ski Show in Pigeon Forge.
Okay.
That I skied at for 2 years.
In Dollywood?
Well, Dollywood, the first year I was there, Dollywood wasn't open yet.
Okay.
So the second time I was there in 84 and then again in 87. And
Okay.
Dollywood, I think, was open in 87.
Okay. Okay.
Because I got to sit next to Dolly Parton in a boat for
Nice.
45 during a parade.
Nice.
Yeah. She is as sweet as they say. She's as sweet as she can be.
Okay.
Yeah, she was really cool.
Yeah. So, no, I love Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. We did that, I think 2 years before we went to Disney, 2011, or 2011. Yeah, I think that's right. So
I'd love to take my motorcycle up there and do a little riding around that area.
that would be a beautiful area to do it on. Yes, I agree with you. The funny thing is so I actually flew my mother-in-law to Indiana, and she actually went to Gatlinburg with us.
Oh, all of you in the same car?
Well, it was 7 people in the same truck.
Nice.
Driving over the spine of a mountain.
So I take it you like your mother-in-law.
Oh, she was a nice lady. Yes.
Oh, there you go. See.
Yeah, she treated
lucky.
me. She treated me well. Because I took care of her daughter. So come on. When did I ever not take care of my business? So, what's not to like? Come on, people.
Just saying. Mother-in-laws can be rough.
Yeah, not mine. Even let's see, for 3 or 4 years after I got divorced, I'd still take the kids over there to see her sometimes.
Well, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Not the kids' fault, That
No,
was
it's
what
not.
happened when I got my divorce. The kids wanted to see their grandfather on that side of the family.
Right.
And she's like, I don't like him. I don't like him. And I'm not going to get into the whole story of why she didn't like him, but I said, those kids are suffering. They want to see their grandfather. Okay, he's an asshole. That's not their fault.
Yeah, I know.
And she allowed me to take them,
Right. Well, that's good. But okay, there you go. There's my vacation's crazy.
Yeah.
So
God, some of those places, man, I would love to go back to. I don't know so much about Disney now at my age. You know, the kids are grown. Andrew's going to turn 20 this year. He's my youngest.
if you had grandkids to take, it'd be different.
See, now that's a whole different ball game because I'd probably sell my back teeth. You know,
Exactly. There you go.
that motorcycle would go up for sale to take them kids to Disney.
And
It will,
see, yeah,
so yeah,
exactly.
and I'd regret it later, but it would have been worth it.
No, you
I'd
wouldn't.
want to take them
The
back. I'd want to take
memories,
them in.
the memories, though, that's the key point. Come on.
Yeah, I'd want to take the grandkids snow skiing.
There you go. Good for you. Yeah.
Go up into Utah or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. So, well, folks, we're going to have to wrap it up. We've been going pretty good here. We hope you have some good vacation stories. And we didn't dive into ours a lot, but it's always fun to reminisce about good times and good vacations and memories you develop.
Yes.
And just remember, it isn't always the money you spend, but the memories you create.
That's right.
And I think, that's the big thing is yeah, I said I spent how much money on the Disney, but it's about the memories we created. My kids had never been. That was like I had never been. That was like the craziest thing in the world for us. So
You don't regret spending that money now, do you?
never. Well, I actually maybe even regret not spending more.
Right?
And I honestly sometimes so little. We went to Disney again, and this time we did 2 days. So we did Magic Kingdom and did Hollywood Studios, and then we did a day off to rest and recuperate.
Awesome. Good idea.
And then we did Animal Kingdom and Epcot.
Oh, nice.
See, and so that was so much better. It was.
Oh, yeah, because you got that break.
Yes.
Had to put the adults in a timeout.
Yeah. So, but the only downside was Katie got a concussion on the Tuesday night. So,
ouch.
Yeah, but they gave us a lot of free stuff. So every time we tell somebody, "You going to Disney?" Okay, who's taking the hit?
Yeah. All right. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's go down.
Yeah, who's slipping in the water, getting a concussion, getting you a bunch of free stuff? I was kidding. Don't do it, folks. It was legitimately an accident. But it was just funny because they really they're very serious. They want you to have a great time, and they were very seriously concerned about Katie. I think they were more concerned about being sued. But but the whole thing is they go out of their way to make sure you're going to still enjoy your vacation. I got to give them credit for that. They did a phenomenal job to make sure.
The people that are working there, they are concerned. They are genuinely worried about your safety.
They're people too.
Yeah.
They're
not worried about the lawsuits and stuff like that. Let that deal with the upper management stuff. They're worried about the people in general.
I know. But no, we had resort general managers down in our room.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, they, there's a bit of care and there's a bit of, it's both. Let's just be honest.
A bit of CYA.
Yes.
But
yeah. So, but it was, we made jokes about it later because, Katie was okay. She did have a concussion, but she was okay. She did recover. No side effects that we know of. Anyway.
Hey, you got to see her today too.
I know, I did. So, but no, it's always good. So, anything you want? Any last minute, kind of last bit of sharing you want to do on?
For you young ones out there, do it. It's worth it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your family. You never know how much time you're going to have with them.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Memories are priceless.
Yes.
And I will always have the memory of Andrew in that Disney and we have those pictures. We can always go back to those.
Yeah. So, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, folks, it's a really great thing to share for those youngins is yes. If you can find a way to do it, It is worth it. Build the memories. So,
love you, brother.
Love you too. I don't have anything else for the fans. We hope you guys like our dad jokes. We're going to be sharing a few more. You may like them, you may not. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Whatever. So, from all of us at the Jaytalk crew, keep following, keep listening.